Yeah, bang bang rail. I got a little thing today. Matt Leake done a good thing about a couple of travellers, yeah, a couple of traveller families and fighters, and so I just thought I'd say a little bit about my experiences as such, like that. Me, Jimmy Tippett, Terry, and Cliff Fields. I used to box. I've been to loads and loads of shows. Most of the shows I went to, that Cliff Fields was always around. Yeah, Cliff Fields, good fighter. I don't think Cliff Fields was beat as an unlicensed fighter. I can't remember he did get beat. Yeah, very good unlicensed fighter. He'd fight anybody at any time, and he'd beat anybody at any time. Lenny he beat twice. He beat quite a few people. Yeah. Anyway, so me, Jimmy Tippett, Cliff Fields got together, and we used to do a lot of enforcer work, and it was mostly for Eddie Richardson. Yeah. Eddie Richardson used to get hold of Jimmy. Jimmy used to get hold of us, used to meet and do what we got to do. So Jimmy Tippett asked me if I could get hold of Cliff, phone Cliff up. Cliff come down, we met Cliff at the station, got in the car, drove off towards Lingfield. Drove towards Lingfield to meet a guy called Johnny Crititon. Well, Johnny Crititon is king of the gypsies, yeah? He's king, number one of the gypsies, Johnny Crititon, yeah? He talks like very again, very high voice, got one eye, you know, all right boy, walks funny, walks a bit bow-legged. Anyway, but we had to go down to Lingfield to meet him. So on the way to Lingfield, we do a quick left into this private road, muddy path. Hedges either side. It's quite a nice sunny day, but it's still got mud on the road. Yeah, go down there, goes to the bottom. You do a left. It's a massive house, big house. That belongs to his other people. They're on the ground. As you come down the private road over the ground still left, massive grounds. Yeah, you come through, do a right. And over to your left, you got these kennels. Over to the right, you got Johnny Crititon's house. You got two caravans where both his sons live. They don't want to live in the house for some reason. Don't know why. Perhaps they've got sick of the old man. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. So it goes in the house. Before we went in the house, there's Johnny Crititon outside pissing up the edge. Yeah. Don't use the toilet. This pisses up the edge. Maybe goes whatever, but it doesn't go. He pisses up the edge. Yeah? I couldn't believe it, mate. It stunk round there, mate. It really stunk. I went, hold up. So goes in the house. Johnny Crititon's only washes his hands and nothing like that. Yeah. Goes in the kitchen. You want a cup of tea? I'm thinking, hold up. Yeah, a cup of tea. Jim, a cup of tea, mate? He said, no, I just have water, a glass of water. Anyway, Cliff had a cup of tea, I had a cup of tea. Want some cake? Yeah, a bit of cake. Come out, mate. He give us the cake. The cake was like in these Marks and Spencer's like wrappers that undo it, you know, apple pies and all that. It was nice. Come out with the tea. The tea's in mugs, yeah, and the tea in the cups was like black. Yeah, put your own milk in, yeah. But when you got the cup, the outside of the cup was more dirtier, more blacker than the inside of the cup. You know what I mean? Never washed the cup, mate. Anyway, can't really say no. So you put your milk in, you're sort of like sipping it on the side, have a bit of cake. So he's talking to Jimmy Tippett. Jimmy Tippett wants to talk to him. He go, come on, we'll walk around the pool. But as he's going to the pool, he's saying to Jimmy about his niece. You know, where she drowned in the Greyhounds stadium. There's a lake around the Greyhounds stadium. She's drowned in there. Since that, he's emptied the pool, and he said, I wouldn't have no water in the pool now because of the kids, yeah. But in the bottom of the pool's green water, about an inch thick, about an inch deep, green, stinking, yeah. Pool's beautiful, mate. Diving boards, the lot is absolutely stunning. Big, massive house, mate. You know, 3, 4 million, 5 million, 6 million, I don't know, the grounds stadium and all that, about 20 million, I should think. Anyway, they're talking. He said to me and Jim, me and Cliffords, go outside and have a walk round, yeah? So Jimmy, as we're coming down in the car, Jimmy's talking to us about the ground stadium, right? So we're walking around the ground stadium, but half of it's been knocked down. And you can see there's a lot of cement all around this, like a stream. But what it is, filled it in, you know, filled the stream in with cement and concrete and all that, but it's still a lake thing. It's a stream, yeah? But anyway. So, you know, you can understand what he's done, but as you're walking around this big ground state, it's massive, mate. It's massive, beautiful, beautiful grass, everything. So he's saying to me, Cliffords, this would be good for a little boxing venue. I went, yeah, mate, it'd be ideal. We'll talk to Johnny Crititon, talk to Jimmy when they come out. But anyway, so before that, me and him walk into the kennel, the greyhound kennel, yeah? And Jimmy sort of like telling us about the greyhound kennel, but I knew a little bit about it anyway. But he was telling us when they was to torture people in the grounds, in the kennel for Eddie and for Frankie Fraser. Frankie Fraser to come down and there was to do some terrible things in there, like pull people's teeth out, electrodes around the groin, around their private parts, and electrodes in their eyes, their ears and all that sort of thing, and hang them up here, hang them up there. And when you're in there, all that's in there now is a few chairs and batteries, massive great big batteries, massive great big batteries, but I suppose that's where those to put the electric things on it, yeah? So me and Cliff are talking, and then we decided to walk round the stadium again. They're walking around and Jimmy comes out with Johnny Crititon. So I'm saying to John, can't we have a boxing thing here, John? So he went, yeah, we can. He said, a little venue, I don't mind that, but only our own people, yeah? Not people from all outside. It's not going to be packed in here. I don't need the money. It might have been in there, mate. You don't need the money. He said, I don't need the money. He said, I just want, if you're going to do it, you get a little ring in there and we'll have our own little people and all that. We'll have a nice drink and some nice food. He said, you want to do it? Do it, all right? So I'm talking to Cliff and I'm talking to Jimmy. So Jimmy said, yeah, we're going to do that. We'll do that. But we've got to do something for John yet. John's asked me to do him a little favour. His son John, one of his sons John, he races greyhounds, yeah? That's what he does. He's absolutely fantastic greyhound trainer, you know. He's got some good greyhounds and he's won some good races, yeah? But Johnny Crititon, his son, doesn't train the greyhounds there. He trains them somewhere else. And Johnny Crititon said, these travellers come in to his place and he said he knows it's them. He said they never took it when he was there. He said they come in and took 3 greyhounds. He said, and the greyhounds they took are the 3 greyhounds that are worth a lot of money that have run big races. And he said, I want them back. He said, look, I'll take you to where they are, you know what I mean? So me, Jimmy Tippett, Cliff Fields, 3 of us with young John, went to this travellers site, yeah? And John's talking to the travellers. He said, look, I want my greyhounds back. You took 4 more greyhounds. He said, I noticed you took them. He said, no one else could take them. I want my greyhounds back, yeah? He said, I know them like the back of my hand. He said, let me have a walk around your greyhound place, yeah? So he's walking around there. He's noticed he's got two of his dogs there. So the other 2 is either sold or the other one is either sold. Anyway, so John said, there's 2 there that are my dogs. He said, we ain't took them, we bought them. He said, look, I don't care what you bought them for. They're my dogs. I'm taking my dogs. So the travellers now are saying, you ain't taking the dogs because we had to pay for them. So he's saying, how much you pay for them? He said, 15 grand each. So Johnny Crititon's going, listen, they're worth double that. He said, I'm not paying 15 pence for them. They're my grounds and you nick my grounds. Right? These travellers are going right into one, yeah? They are not paying nothing, you ain't taking the grounds. So I said to Jim, what are we going to do? He said, leave it for a minute, we come back later. We come back later. Johnny Crititon said, listen, young John, he's gone, listen, I'm coming back from my grounds, yeah? He said, I'm going to go and then come back. So on the way there, on the way back to where we've got to get to, you got Jimmy Tippett phoning up Terry Coombs, phoning up Terry Sharp, phoning up Gypsy Tom, phoning up about four or five other people, right heavy of people, right? All from Lewisham, Catford, Deptford, all around them places. We all meet up, we all go down there in vans, right? Jump out the vans, all tooled up, mate. These people, arseholes fed out. Even though there was a team of them, they didn't want to know, mate. They did not want to know. Especially seeing like Cliff Fields, Terry Coombs, they'd heard about all these people. They didn't want no problems, right? So we took the 2 Greyhounds. Where's the other 2 Greyhounds? He's saying, oh, so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so's taken. But it's the Smiths that took the Greyhounds. So now we've got a row with these geezers that took the Greyhounds. So we go down there. Terry Coombs, Terry Sharp, smashes these 2 Smith geezers to pieces, smash them up, bash them right up. Took the Greyhounds. Now we've got 4 Greyhounds taken back to Johnny Crititon. Johnny Crititon gives us 9 grand. 9 grand is a good day's work for us, yeah? Sweet. Everything's sweet. Greyhounds are back. Lovely. We shoot off. I'm saying to Jimmy Tippett, Jim, what about the boxing? Can we do some boxing in that thing? So I said, well, what we don't do, the end of the week, we go back down to see Johnny Crititon. All right, okay. Goes down to see Johnny Crititon. He's got the dogs back. His son's got the dogs back where he's got them. He's happy. Travers don't want to know, don't want to get involved in any problems with us, yeah? So while I'm with Johnny Crititon and Jimmy Tippett saying, look, we want to get involved with a little boxing show here, yeah, venue. So Johnny Crititon said, okay, but let's not have a big boxing ring. Let's not have a great big boxing ring, 2-3 foot from the ground. Let's have a little flat one. So we got some balls and everything and put it out and got a little flat boxing one, little one about 3 or 4 inches from the floor, yeah. Nice ring, nice. So got Terry Coombs, Terry Sharp, Gypsy Tom, Eddie Richardson, a few other people, Colombo, he wasn't there, Chippendale was too far away. All come down for have a little muckabout, fights, you know. All got boxing gloves. But the gloves Johnny Crititon's got there, it's these big 16-ounce gloves, the old big 16-ounce gloves, yeah. So John's saying, no, none of these 10-ounce, 12-ounce gloves and all that, 8-ounce gloves, no. It's only 16-ounce and no one's going to get really, really hurt. But you can still get hurt because there's 16-ounce and you get someone like Cliff Fields who can bang, still break you up, bash you to pieces, yeah? So Colombo gets in with Terry Sharp. Terry Sharp, he does quite a few shows. And not only does he quite a few shows, he fights. He's had quite a few fights, Terry Sharp. So I met Terry Sharp in them shows when I was fighting, yeah? So Terry Sharp gets in with Colombo. They have 3-2s, and it's nice, you know what I mean? It's 3-2s, you know, no one's taking liberties, but it's all right. We're all outside, having a little drink here and there, having a bit of cake, having sandwiches. It's all nice, all clean, it's beautiful, right? A few girls around, it's nice. There's about 20 people, 20 of us. You know, sun's out, it's really hot, it's beautiful. So then Jimmy Tibbs wants to have a few rounds with Colombo. Colombo's already had a couple of few rounds. Wants to get him with Colombo, yeah? Jimmy Tibbs, he's a bit past it as such, I suppose, but he hits you on the chin with a 16-ounce gloves, you're going to go over. Colombo gets in with him. Colombo mucks about, backhanders, karate, mucks about, he does all this aikido shit and whatever. Colombo's not, as Jimmy's coming, he's giving him backhanders, clipping him, and Jimmy lasts a round. 1 round, 2-minute rounds. Believe it or not, it's quite hard when you ain't done it for such a long time, yeah? Anyway, so Colombo's still in the ring. Who gets in the ring next? Me, with Colombo. I'll tell you what, mate, it was fantastic. Colombo's done about 9 rounds there, maybe 8 rounds, 9 rounds already, yeah? He gets in with me, got the big 16-ounce gloves. He's mucking about, bang, 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 hit me all round the gaff, yeah, with his big 16-ounce gloves. We had a right little laugh, me and him. really had a laugh. It was all funny. It was like, you know, no one's out to hurt anybody, but everybody's out to have a good time. Then Columbo, love his old mate. He's so game. Got him with Cliff Fields, you know, and he only done 1 round with Cliff. I've done 2 rounds with Cliff. He got him with Cliff, and you know, Cliff's just walking towards bang, just not really hitting him hard, but getting towards him and keeps throwing punches at him. Don't stop throwing punches. Columbo's trying to get out of it. Columbo's only small, 5'10", like Roy Shaw, but he's trying to get out underneath him and throw punches, you know, and backhanding him and all this kind, and Cliff keeps coming forward. So give me 2 rounds with Cliff. Believe me, mate. Believe me, I'd love to have fought Cliff. I'd love to have fought him, an unlicensed fight. Love to, mate. We had 2 rounds. Cliff come in as he was a normal fight when we was there. I only done 2 rounds, but Cliff come in as a normal fight. He was consistently throwing punches at me to, you know, hurt me, and he did hurt me. You know, I was throwing punches at Cliff to hurt Cliff. He wasn't a bad pro, Cliff, but he didn't do any bobbing and weaving, nothing. He didn't do none of that. He just kept coming forward, and it's quite easy to hit Cliff, believe it or not, but his chin's like granite. You know, you could like hit him, his rocky's nut and comes forwards. Yeah, he hasn't never been knocked over. He's been beat. I think he got beat by Billy Air twice through cuts. I think Richard Dunn beat him once or twice through cuts for Southern Area title. I'm not quite sure, but I know Billy Ed beat him twice. I know Billy Ed very well. I talked about Cliff to Billy Ed, you know what I mean? But he just telling me, Billy Ed, that Cliff Fields, right, the only way you could beat Cliff Fields was to cut him up. You know, if you cut him up, sweet. But if he was to go the distance with Cliff, he would beat you. You know, he would beat you to submission, yeah? But the only way to beat him is by cutting him up. I only done 2 rounds, mate. You know what I mean? 2 rounds, and I held my own with him. He hit me a few times and hurt me, but I was real pleased. This is the time I had 2 rounds with Cliff Fields at Johnny Crititon's place, yeah? He got Terry Sharp had a couple of more rounds. He got Jimmy Tippett had a few rounds with Cliff, because they're mates, aren't they? Just flying around, but it was so good. I loved it. Johnny Crititon's boy, good little boxer, Johnny Crititon's boy, mate. Got in, had a few rounds. The other son, who's got the Greyhounds, I forget his name now, he was there, he had a few rounds. Yeah, it was nice. Johnny Crititon, good boy. Johnny Crititon just about to stand up about fighting. Yeah, it was good, mate. It was good. We had no problems about anything after that. Everything was good. The only problem I had with John, which I already made a podcast about a long time ago, was when they wanted me some Dawson people out, some Dawson travellers out. I went down there with a hand thing, which I shouldn't have. I was strapped up, went into the house, shot up, banged outside, went back to the guy. I said that I'd done what I'd done, and he made a few phone calls, realised what I'd done, and give me, it was either 2 cooking apples or 3 cooking apples. I thought it was a joke. Johnny Crititon didn't say nothing to me. They laughed about it, said that's the way travellers are. They pay you that way, but you're indebted for them for the rest of your life. So I think to myself, how am I indebted for the rest of your life, mate? You give me 3 cooking apples, I think it's an insult. You know? So this guy, his boy, was a big time dealer with all sorts of stuff. I called on something that same day, said I'd meet him somewhere, met this guy somewhere. I was four-handed. The guy met me in a van. He come out of the van, had a quick talk to me, pulled him in the motor to pay him for his cash, for what he had. He never got paid for that. He wouldn't give us the keys to the van. He did eventually give us the keys to the van. He got cut up really, really bad. My mate cut him to pieces. Cut him hot cross bun, mate. He really cut him bad. Got the keys. Another kid went in there in the van, nicked load of white, load of pills, everything, yeah. Went out of there very happy. Put the kid in the back of the van, shut the van up and got on the phone and said, you better go and pick your what's the name up. We sorted him out now. It's done and dealt with, and that's it. On the way home, John on the phone to me saying that they're going to kill me. What I'd done, I said, John, you're not going to kill me for what I'd done, because what I'd done was the right thing to do. I said, you mugged me off giving me 2 or 3 cooking apples. Do you know what I mean? And I said, that was out of order. And I said, I only got my revenge, mate. And I said, what you did, you don't do to people like me. You know, you're lucky, very lucky, that I wasn't with other people that would have done a lot more damage than that, yeah? But anyway, he's said he was going to do this and said he was going to do it. He'd done nothing, yeah? All I'd done was give Jimmy Tippett some money, give Clifffield some money, people that I was with some money. I had about 20, 30 grand left, yeah? And that was me. That's what I had left out of all the things I paid them. That's what I had left, you know? And that was it, really. Me and John just never talked. And one day, I met some guys in Hove, Brighton, that I had to do a bit of business with. I went down there, went to a pub, and who's in the pub? Johnny Crititon. He owns the pub. He owns about 5 pubs down there in Hove, yeah? He seen me come in, and you could see that he was hurt, yeah? But what can he do, mate? He just smiled at me. He said, you're out of order, you know that, don't you? He said, you're lucky you ain't dead. I said, John, you're lucky you ain't dead, mate. I said, well, what you did was a liberty, yeah? And we just shook hands, had a drink. I don't drink anyway, but we weren't going to stay there and drink. Don't worry about that, mate. I ain't that silly. You know, I was with a couple of people. I maybe had half a lager, and that's me, mate. You know, filled up with lemonade. I don't one of these geezers that I don't drink. I like to be in control. I like to be me, in control of any situation that I'm in. I like to be in control of me, yeah? No one can control me but me. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, so after that, Johnny Crititon died of cancer. He left his 2 boys. Like, he left them malted up. Johnny Crititon had big caravan sites everywhere. He had money like it's coming out of his, it's ridiculous. He had so much money, and yet he tried to rump me for a little bit of money like that. It doesn't make any sense, does it? Anyway, this is Bang Bang Rail. Please press the like button, subscribe, and take care. Nice one. Have a nice night, yeah? Nice one.